Hey y'all, let's make some cornbread. So to make homemade cornbread, you will need 2 cups of self-rising cornmeal. Doesn't have to be buttermilk, I just like this, so this is what I use. Self-rising. You need a 1/4 cup of vegetable oil, 1 large egg. I haven't gotten it out of the fridge yet, but you need 1.5 cups of milk. Well, 1 1/3 cups of milk. Okay, in the event that you're going to use just regular self-rising cornmeal mix and you want to put buttermilk in it, which most of us Southerners do, you'll need 1.5 cups of buttermilk because it's thicker. Also, we're going to season our cast iron pan with a little bit of our bacon grease from the other day, from the bacon we made. So that's what we're going to do first. Got our cast iron pan here. Got our bacon grease. Now, the recipe itself, if you're going to use a recipe, it says use about a teaspoon. I'm going to use about a tablespoon. So that's about a tablespoon. Now, we're going to put this pan into a cold oven. We're going to crank the heat to 450 Fahrenheit. That's about 232 Celsius, I think. I'll recheck that, but 450 Fahrenheit, screaming hot. And you want this pan and the heat of the oven to rise at the same time. You want this pan screaming hot when you pour in your cornbread batter. So, we're going to get this in the pan and then we'll go make our cornbread. Get this in the oven and then we'll make our cornbread. Now, like I said, I'm using self-rising buttermilk cornmeal mix, Martha White. You can use any kind you want, White Lily. I don't even know all the brands. I've used this for so long, but if you, for any reason, cannot find self-rising cornmeal mix, it doesn't have to be buttermilk, but if you can't find self-rising cornmeal mix, you can use regular cornmeal, white or yellow. Instead of using 2 cups of the self-rising cornmeal mix, you'll need 1 cup of regular cornmeal mix, 1 cup of self-rising flour, about a tablespoon, little less maybe, of baking powder, and at least a teaspoon of salt. Because this mix here has the flour, the self-rising flour, the baking powder, and the salt already mixed in. That's why we're not adding anything to this. The cornbread is so easy to make, and it is so good. Now, if I had enough bacon grease, the 1/4 cup of oil I need in this would be bacon grease instead of vegetable oil. I just don't have enough. So, but I'm still going to add a couple of teaspoons in there. And we did grease our pan with the bacon grease. So, let me get my stuff measured. Okay, yeah. First thing in the bowl is our egg. You want to get this whisked up very well. That's good. Next up is our 1/4 cup vegetable oil. Now I used about 2 tablespoons of veg oil, and then I filled it the rest of the way up with my bacon grease. It makes no difference as long as it's oil. But trust me, this will taste incredible. Nothing beats that bacon flavor. Mix that up together. And then again, because I'm using self-rising buttermilk cornmeal, I'm going to add in 1 1/3 cups of whole milk. If I can keep from spilling it. Again. 1 1/3 cup regular milk. Now again, if you're going to use buttermilk in this, you would use at least 1.5 cups. There's our wet. 2 full cups of cornmeal mix. This is 500 milliliter for anybody who's not an American and wants to try to make this. Now, when you get this stirred up, so I can already tell this is too thick. You want this almost runny. It'll look like it's probably not right, but it is. You definitely want this thin. So instead of grabbing more whole milk that I keep spilling everywhere, I'm going to add a little bit of buttermilk to it. Shake it up. Maybe 1 tablespoon, 2 tablespoons. Let's see. Nope. I want it a little bit thinner than that. Okay, that's much better. Like I said, it'll look runny and you'll think it's wrong, but I promise you it's right. You don't want a thick batter when you go to pour this. Yeah, there we go. Almost runny, but not quite. Now our oven is almost up to 450, and then we'll get our iron skillet out and we'll pour this in. We're going to bake it for, now if you go by most recipes, they say 20 to 25 minutes. Mine personally comes out at exactly 20 minutes. If I leave it even 21 minutes, the middle of the bottom will stick to the skillet. So it really depends on your oven, you know, how hot it gets, and also how well you grease your pan. But as long as you put at least a tablespoon of oil in the bottom of your cast iron skillet, that should be plenty. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, here we go, y'all. Screaming hot pan. Be very careful. Now you want to kind of turn your pan around like that to make sure it's completely coated on the bottom and a little bit on the sides with that bacon grease we put in there, or vegetable oil, whatever you use. And that's what you want to hear. You want to hear that sizzle when you add in your cornmeal. Now, I'm a lefty, so y'all bear with me a second. But we want every bit of this out. Oh, God, I smell that bacon. Oh, it smells so good. There we go. That's it. That's how easy it is to make cornbread batter. In the oven this goes exactly 20 minutes. Now at the 10-minute mark, I turn the pan kind of this way with the handle facing to my right. At the 10-minute mark, I'm going to turn it back this way just to make sure it browns evenly. 20 minutes, I'll be back. Okay, y'all, exactly 20 minutes. I'm getting our cornbread out of the oven. My house smells so good. It smells like cornbread and bacon. Look at that. This is so easy to make. I hope y'all will give it a try. Now I'm just going to show you how to get it out of the pan. You're going to take just a regular old butter knife. You just want to go around the edge. Make sure it's not sticking, if I can keep from tearing it. Just go around a couple times. That's all you got to do. Put the plate back. Pick this heavy hot sucker up carefully. Well, except for that one little spot, it came out perfectly. It's always that same spot. I left it about 21 minutes and I should not have. But we're going to get our little piece. We're going to put it right back up there. Now. Beautiful. And it smells so good. Now, I'm going to get some butter. But of course I am. I'm a Southerner. Butter. Now you don't have to do this. You can just cut your slices and add butter if you want to each individual slice, but I always add mine to the top because, well, it's butter and I'm a Southerner. We do love our butter, and it's really not a lot. I won't add any to my slice when I cut it, so it's actually less in the terms of this whole cornbread. Now I'm going to cut the spot that I messed up and get it out of here. You want to use a serrated knife, by the way. This one's a little small, but I'm just cutting this tiny little piece. This over. It's perfect. See the smoke coming off of it? It's screaming hot too. And it smells so good. It smells like bacon. Just the way we want it. Oh my gosh. Now I gotta make something to go with it. I made this in the morning because I didn't want to crank up the heat in my kitchen in the afternoon, as hot as it already is. It is so moist. Between the bacon drippings and the buttermilk, oh. A lot of cornbread is dry. This isn't one of them. Try this, y'all. You'll keep it on hand all the time. Then you won't have to run to the store and grab you some white bread to go with your meal. Not to mention, this is just freaking delicious. And anything with bacon is. Thank y'all for watching. See you next time.